Good evening, my brothers. The San Francisco 49ers just scored on us again. It's 35-10 with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The game is over. It's done. I've seen enough. I got work in the morning. I don't have time to deal with this torture any longer. I was incredibly upset during the Arizona game because we clearly have more talent than them and we found a way to lose the game. The reason why I'm not too terribly upset, I'm not belligerent, I'm not throwing shit, is because I can admit when we're thoroughly outmanned, we're outclassed. We don't have the talent to compete with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not mad because we simply do not have the talent to compete. When you go against a team like Arizona, you have to win those games because you're clearly superior. But when it comes to the 49ers, you can't be upset. You can't get too mad because, this team is just better. They're just better. You know the thing when they say use your eyes, the eye test. Christian McCaffrey and that backfield, 4, 5, 6 yards a pop on almost every fucking running play. Brock Purdy clearly outclassed Dak Prescott today. It was bad. Brock Purdy was just hitting everything. On target, precise, throwing the football down the field with the greatest of ease. Picking apart our defense. It was a sight to behold, seeing him scan the field, analyzing, diagnosing what he sees out there. The processing speed. I'm looking at Brock Purdy and I'm like, is this dude, is he really a second-year player? Was he really the last player picked in last year's draft? Was he? Just looking at the processing speed, looking at how he's breaking shit down. I don't think I've seen Dak Prescott ever do that. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. The defense, watching the 49ers defense, Tony Pollard couldn't get anywhere. CeeDee Lamb got something. Kevontae Turpin got that touchdown. But other than that, they've been shut down. George Kittle didn't have a single touchdown this season and has 3 against us today. Man. Defense just simply, they were out-coached, outclassed, outmatched, out everything. It's crazy. The San Francisco 49ers simply have more talent on both sides of the ball. They got Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. They got Trent Williams on the left tackle. They got so many weapons. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. Of course, Fred Warner. Of course, Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave. The Samoan kid, Tuafunga, I can't pronounce his name. Then you got Charvarius Ward. The list goes on and on. They just have way more talent than we do. We can't compete. We can't compete. We just got to hope that we don't see them if the Cowboys can, if they make the playoffs, which I think we will. But we have to hope that we don't face them again, or we got to hope a big injury happens and it'll alter their season, because pound for pound, talent for talent, full strength, 49ers are in a different class. They are in a different class. We simply aren't good enough. We aren't. No amount of coaching could have won this game. And that doesn't mean I'm letting Mike McCarthy off the hook. I'm just saying you could have coached a great game and still lose this. We are being dominated out there. We're being out physical. We're being outmanned. Just look at the line of scrimmage. Looking at the line of scrimmage tells you everything you need to know. Our offensive line, I was sitting on the couch with my wife, and Rico Dowdle had a 5-yard run. He had to fight for 5 yards. And not every 5-yard run is created equally. There are 5-yard runs where, like, you get through a hole, like the offensive line gets a great push. It just closes up because you advance to the next level, to the linebackers. Okay, that's a great 5-yard run. Rico Dowdle had to fight for his life to get those 5 yards. Nick Bosa was already in the backfield. Our offensive line got pushed around. Our defensive line got pushed around today. Every fucking run play. Christian McCaffrey, 6 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards. Deebo Samuel, 7 yards, 8 yards. I'm just like, what? Oh my God. And then the penalties, we were undisciplined again. There was an unnecessary roughness call. I didn't agree with that. It was on Donovan Wilson. They called it on Javon Hargrave, but it was on Donovan Wilson. I didn't agree with that call. He didn't target with his helmet. But it still wouldn't have mattered because there were 2 penalties called on the play. So even if they would have reversed that, they still would have gotten Javon Hargrave for taunting. Undisciplined. This is the 3rd time in a row that we lost to this team. We have to go back to the drawing board immediately. Because this is not going to fly, man. This is not going to fly. If we want to finally get that chip off our shoulder, that monkey off our back, we have to make it to the NFC Championship game. And I don't see us making it. With the Niners playing the way that they're playing, it's 5 weeks into the season. Things can change. But goddamn, son. Goddamn. I'm not too sure about the Eagles. We control our own destiny when it comes to them. We play them twice. But when it comes to the 49ers, they are clearly the class of the NFC. Oh, man. They just have so many weapons, so much talent. You just can't compete. And they're physical. They're so fucking physical. When you look at this Cowboys defense, we're speedy. We're built to take away the football. We're not built to take the punches on the chin. We're not. We're not built for that. We have a glass jaw. Our defense has a glass jaw. One good punch to the jaw, and we're done for. We're not built for that. When you got light guys up on the line with Osa Odigizua. Now, Jonathan Hankins is a big boy, but like when you got Osa Odigizua, you got Micah Parsons coming from the outside, DeMarcus Lawrence from the outside. And then, of course, our linebackers, they're not like the most physical. We don't have a Dre Greenlaw. We don't have a Fred Warner that can like punch you in the mouth. We don't have that. We have LVE. We have that guy. I am I'm not gonna say I'm disenchanted, but I don't feel good, man. I just don't feel good. The way, man, seeing the San Francisco 49ers, like just seeing all the talent that they have, I'm just distraught, man. I'm distraught. I don't see a path. I don't see a path to the NFC Championship game. The only thing we can hope for is a fucking like injury, a big injury. Something happens to Brock Purdy. Something happens to the multiple players on that team. Because the way it stands right now, we don't have a chance. We don't have a chance of getting by them. We don't. We're on to the Chargers. We play them Monday night next week. We're never gonna live this down for the rest of the season. We're not going to live it down. People are going to be like, oh, Cowboys can bully bad teams, but when it matters most, they can't compete. And when it comes to Dak Prescott, you know, there's a reason why we traded for Trey Lance. People are like, oh, we traded him to get the secrets. No. Brothers, I want y'all to understand something. And Eric Mangini mentioned this on, I forgot what the show was called, with Nick and Wilds and Chris Broussard. I forgot what the show was called. But Eric Mangini said it best. You may think you're getting information. You may think you're getting something. You're not going to get much from players traded from other teams. You're not. Why do you think the San Francisco 49ers felt comfortable enough to trade him to Dallas, knowing that they were going to play us this season? Because they knew that he wasn't going to give us valuable information. Never bank on a player giving a team valid, useful information. Because the team that traded him, they're going to change up signals. They're going to change up things. And the coaches and the team, they always have ways to disguise things. They have signal changes. So you're not going to get much from a player from an opposing team. It's like people like Ezekiel Elliott is giving the Patriots the secrets. Or Trey Lance is going to give Dallas Cowboys the secrets and all this stuff. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Eric Mangini said it best, and I fully agree. You're not going to get much from a player. They're not going to be able to shed as much knowledge as you think they are. They're not. It's true. But the reason, now I digress. Let me go back to what I was saying with Trey Lance. With Trey Lance, we got him for a reason. He is here to replace Dak Prescott when Dak Prescott's contract is up. Dak Prescott being paid all of this money should be able to even I forgot the commentator's name in the game. I forgot his name. I don't know how I forgot his name. But even he said it. You would think in moments like this, you would have your quarterback elevate you to new heights. They would think of something, come out with a trick, pull something up from their sleeve, elevate the team. You're getting paid this much money to do so. And Dak Prescott can't do it. He can't elevate us to the next level. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm saying he is top 10. But there is a huge, and he may fall out of the top 10. I have to put Brock Purdy in the top 10. I have to. I have to put Jared Goff in the top 10 now. I have to. I'm going to have to move Dak Prescott out of the top 10. I have to. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but he's not going to be able to elevate this team. I'm sorry, he's not. He has enough. I'm not saying he has weapons like the 49ers, but he has enough. He has CeeDee Lamb. He has Tony Pollard. He has Brandon Cooks. He has, the list goes on. He has enough, man. He does. He has Michael Gallup. So he's not short on weapons. If Patrick Mahomes had these weapons, Patrick Mahomes would be lighting the league on fire right now. If he had Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, he could make something of these goddamn tight ends. He could. Dak Prescott simply isn't good enough to win these games for us. And it hurts because he can win 12 games a season. He can do that. He's done it twice. But when it matters most, he simply can't do it. He can't do it. How much more evidence do we need? And the thing is, the reason why I've been easy on Dak Prescott, the reason why I'm rooting for him is because he's our best option right now. I have no choice but to root for him because he's the best thing we got. He's the best fucking quarterback that we have right now. We have no other option. A lot of people will say throw in Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush was good for us last season. He was. But Cooper Rush, the offense, they clearly take a dive in yards and efficiency and touchdown scoring when he's out there because they play more conservatively. The offense and Cooper Rush, they play conservatively. And Trey Lance simply isn't ready yet. He can't go out there in this state. He can't. He still has to learn the playbook, and he has to sit behind and learn more nuances of the game. That's why San Francisco traded him away. We all can't be great like Brock Purdy and come out the gate blazing. We can't. Trey Lance didn't do that. He needs time to develop. It's rare that you have someone like Brock Purdy who can come out swinging, being Mr. Irrelevant. It's rare. You can't bank on that shit happening for you. Man, the thing is, I just don't know a path, a good way forward. I just don't. I don't see a path forward. I don't see us making the NFC Championship game. We have to go through San Francisco, and I don't see us going through them. I just don't. I'm trying to figure out ways and scenarios on how we can make the championship game, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. And then on top of the Eagles and on top of the 49ers, the Eagles won again. They're 5-0. And, of course, the San Francisco 49ers are 5-0. We got the Detroit Lions. We got the Seattle Seahawks. These teams are going to be punching us too. We got to play them this year too. Thank God both of those games are here in Arlington. But damn, we got to face those teams too, and they are no slouch. They are no slouch. Man, this is going to be, I hope this isn't a long season. We're 3-2. We got the Chargers in Arlington next Monday. I hope we can win that. Then we got the bye week. If we can make it to the bye week 4-2, that would be good. And then we have the Rams right after the bye week, October 29th. And then we have those fucking dirty bird, filthy, cheese-sticking bastard Eagles on November 5th. Man. Oh, man.